We launched an initiative several months back called Premium at Scale, right around the time we did our user summit in Charleston, which is called OPED. And we brought the leading MVPDs and networks and station groups into separate rooms to talk about what they need to go after this $100 billion bucket, this direct response bucket, largely which is spent today on Facebook and Google. And there's several initiatives underway in the industry that are helping these TV companies start to chip away at that bucket, because that bucket is their growth opportunity. And you see a lot of M&A taking place. Most recently, Disney's enormous bid for Fox assets, but certainly lots and lots of M&A that came before that. And that's all designed to really create enough audience scale to support this outcome-based selling and buying model that everyone wants to move to. And the second thing we're seeing a lot of is measurement initiatives, where OpenAP, which is designed to simplify measurement, offers multi-measurement to allow networks to pool their inventory so buyers can see how much collective audiences they can get and try to automate some of the measurement process. The local station groups launched TIP. And so, you see a lot of scale and measurement initiatives underway, but there's one key initiative that's still blocking everyone from taking all that direct response money, and that's the technology bucket. And at Operative, we look at that as low-hanging fruit, or us as being very well positioned to help the media companies knock down that barrier. Because the reason people still buy from Facebook and Google is because of simplicity. And you can log in quickly, you can buy a lot of inventory, you can buy an audience segment, you can get it at scale, and the technology is not a barrier. And even though they grade their own homework, they say, look, we've got the inventory, this is how we measure it, and this is how you buy from us. So it's all tightly knit into a simple little box. And their philosophy is, we reach so many people and we make it so easy for you to get, and if you don't like it, go buy it somewhere else. And that's been their mentality for so long. So the TV companies have this huge opportunity to emulate a lot of the things that the digital giants have done, because their content is much, much better. So if I could buy a large segment of auto and do that across premium content, I'm going to start to move some of my money away from these digital companies into TV, the sector. And that's what Premium at Scale is all about from the technology side, is removing that, moving towards interoperability and allowing the media companies to really position their supply towards any outcome-based buyer in the market, the way they want to buy, with the currency they want to buy it in, and the transaction methods they want to use, and hide their complexity that sits on the back end of their infrastructures to allow that model to scale and let those dollars flow into the space.
So tell us about working with Freewheel and how that works.
Yeah, so when you think about moving from what really has been a ratings-based business model to an outcome-based business model, you're moving away from some of the fundamental pieces that have held the TV industry together for a long time, even when digital came along. And things really from buyer to seller get traded in these horizontal swim lanes, or these silos, right? You've got people, process, and technology that supports the linear business. You've got people, process, and technology that supports the digital and video business. And you've got people, process, and technology in those gray areas in the middle. Maybe that's where you want to put addressable. And so when you have to go now to a much more automated world, from fragmented to automated, or if you want to go from complexity to simplified, and hide all that from the buyer, you've got to start to go vertically across those swim lanes. And that's where the Freewheel partnership comes in. So if you think about what Operative does, we are laser focused on pre-sales yield, proposal, inventory, product management, and unification of a lot of the things that happen on the front end of dealing with buyers and determining which buyer is going to get your supply at what rate and do so efficiently. And Freewheel is more of a post-sales yield and execution system. And between the two of us, there's a lot of handshaking that currently even goes on, and we're taking that handshaking to the next level because we are putting in place a unified product catalog on top of, which is foundational to our AOS system, that allows you to keep your existing infrastructure in place, which is really, really critical, and have a way to pull different pieces of that supply together into a unified product catalog so that it could be pointed at the different buyer sets. You could think about that piece as a liberation of their tech stacks, right? And there's a lot of companies going in saying, you got to change your linear traffic system, or you got to change your ad server, you got to change all this stuff to get to a converged world. That's never going to happen. These are huge enterprise level projects. No one wants to change their back end technology. So we're putting something on the front end to unify the pre-sales process. And what Freewheel is doing is they're putting something on the back end to unify the optimization and campaign delivery process across linear, across addressable, across digital. And we're going to make the key handshakes in between so that our operating system is super connected to effectively the supply chain. It's not much different than consumer experience on Amazon. I go to Amazon, I want to buy a curtain, a bar of soap, and a set of towels. Do I care about the merchants? Sometimes. Maybe for the shower curtain I don't, right? I just want these things and I want them delivered by this date. And so that's kind of more of the operative spot. And Freewheel is more in the, all right, which merchant's going to deliver it? How do they get it there? What's the most efficient route? What's the shipping? And so it's really about the operating system and the supply chain coming together so all that complexity can be completely removed from the ad sales strategy and the markets that these big media companies want to play in.